So this isn't my most proudest story. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely overestimated my tolerance at the time, and based by the title, it didn't go very good. Uh, I hope y'all enjoy this video, man. Feel like y'all do. Feel like y'all love my weed videos. So, without further ado, man, let's get right into the video. So I didn't realize in past videos, my mic is really low. Right now, if it's a little too loud, let me know in the comments. Let me know if the intro was right or too low, or if this is too loud or just right. But yeah, let's get on to the story. So this all starts off. I think I remember it was the day after Thanksgiving. I remember this because the week prior to that, the week before we went on break, I got suspended. And that's a whole different story time. That's a pretty good story time too. And I actually kept that story time like from my parents for a while. I think for like a month or two. When I got caught, and then I got grounded for a long time. Like that, it's a pretty decent. That's a pretty good story, bro. That's a good story on its own. But yeah, I was suspended and I'd gone on break, and that has really nothing to do with this story time. But I just remember it being the day after Thanksgiving because of that. So, I hit up one of my cousins, and I recently found out she was smoking and she was doing eddies and stuff. At the time, I was too. And, I was just like, yo, let me pull up and, let's match. And if you don't know what matching is, it's usually when two people, like, for example, if you have one blunt and somebody else has another blunt, you put them together and you smoke it together. Now, in our instance, we had no blunts, but we had two carts and we had eddies. So, it's technically still matching. Like, I don't want no smart ass in the comments being like, that's not matching. We both got high with our substances. That's matching, bro. But also, if I sound a little sick, it's because I can't. I am a little sick. I'm not gonna lie. I think I have strep throat, so it's not really the most ideal time to record. But got y'all with the banger. But yeah, I hit her up, and she responds. She's like, "Yeah, push through." Her dad picks me up. I say what's up to my uncle, his wife, which I consider my aunt, my other cousin, and my little cousin. And I'm just saying what's up to them, catching up, seeing what they've been up to, and for the most part, pretty chill. So I set my stuff down. I'm just chilling on their couch, watching their TV. I'm just waiting till their parents, they go to sleep. And so is she. So is my cousin. And finally they fall asleep. That part of that night went normally. And now we're in the living room. Now we're in the matching phase. So she pulls out her cart. She had a Muhammad at the time, and forgot which one I had at the time. I had two actually. I had one screw on from the smoke shop that actually let me buy. Shout out to that smoke shop. And I had this other cart I bought for my plug, and dude, I forgot what it was called. I'm not gonna lie. 2023 was like 2 years ago, bro. Like, don't even judge me. I forgot. And I had these one edibles from that same smoke shop, and I'm not gonna lie. I think they were like 250 milligrams. And previously, which that's a whole other story time about how I greened out too. Like that edible sent me to the hospital. Like that's a whole different story time. I have a lot of weed story times, bro. Like stay tuned for the rest of this channel. But I pull out my stuff, she pulls out hers. You know, we're just hitting that shit. We're just smoking up the living room, and it's not like we're hotboxing it. Like it's not like we got air vents covered up. Like it's an open space, so nothing's really gonna happen. And she didn't really have the highest tolerance, so she didn't really take a lot of hits. She only took, I think, like two small hits. I gave her, I think, a little piece of my gummy, and with that, she was set. Now, with me, on the other hand, I ate the rest of that gummy. I think I hit two blinkers on both carts. So those blinkers on itself, I was already fucking fried. Like I was geeked as shit. And I could tell right then and there. I was just like, damn, I'm gonna be really fucking fried. So first 20 minutes, it's honestly pretty chill. Like I feel really really good. I feel the effects. I feel the effects from the carts, obviously. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention I also hit a blinker on her cart, which that did not help, bro. Them Muhas were not playing at the time. I'm not gonna lie, and they still aren't, bro. The Muhas are still powerful, but besides the point, I was really fucking fried, bro. I was so fucking fried, but it was actually a pretty calm high. Like I wasn't really tweaking out. I was just laying there, and I was just kind of thinking of my own thoughts. And then another 20 minutes go by, and then the edible starts kicking in, and it was hitting strong. When I mean like that shit randomly hit me really fucking strong. Like it went from zero, no, it went from 50 to 200 in like less than a minute, bro. Like I went from being comfortably high to really uncomfortably high, and I was just like, damn. I really need some water right now. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. My cousin went back to her room, so I was just there for myself. So I was just too fucking fried to ask anybody for some water. So I I went up, I got up, I went to the sink, bro. I turned it on, and I started chugging that sink water. Which, when I say, man, that shit was pretty good. That shit hit the spot. I don't know if it was because I was faded or that water was just genuinely fucking tasty. But that was probably one of the most tastiest tap water I've ever had. Other than the fucking outside hose I used to drink every time I'd be outside with my boys playing basketball and shit. Like if you know what I'm talking about, bro, type it up in the comments. I don't want to seem crazy now, but besides the point, I'm just chugging that water down, and for the most part, I'm starting to calm down a little bit, but I'm still really uncomfortably high. Like I'm still really fucking fried. I sit back down, and when I sat down, bro, it started hitting even stronger. Like it's like this edible had a fucking call time to go from 200 to 225 to 250, 275 to 300. That shit felt like a heavy sniper at one point. Like that shit was strong, bro. That shit was hitting. That shit was hitting pretty strong. And I was just fucking tweaked out, bro. I was just so uncomfortably high. I started going on my phone, and I started searching up this one YouTuber that I saw this one video. I don't know if y'all know Chains for real. I went on his channel, and before this, I found a video on what to do when you're too high. So I found that video again, and I started replaying it, and every single fucking thing I couldn't try. 'Cause one, I know where the milk was. I'm not just gonna ask my cousin, "Yo, where's your milk? Let me drink your milk." I didn't have no CBD pen. Like I couldn't really do much. So I was just sitting there. I was just like, damn, I really gotta ride this out. I gotta try my best. And the problem with edibles, bro, is nobody mentions this, but with edibles, it's not like smoking, bro. You feel when you smoke, you feel it right away, and you kind of feel your peak right then and there. Like you can really control it. But with edibles, bro, that shit just creeps up and keeps hitting, bro. It keeps going and going and going, and there's no controlling how high you get after that. You just gotta hope you dosed it yourself right. And in this instance, I did not dose myself right. And so, I was just sitting there just getting more and more fucking high. And I just had enough, bro. I went to my cousin's room and I'm just like, bro, I'm too fucking fried. I do not feel good at all. And she's like, damn, you good, bro? I'm like, nah, man. Like, I don't know what to do. And so I just lay down on her floor and I take a nap. I took like a 20-minute nap, she said. And I wake up, my mouth is really dry and I feel so lightheaded. I start freaking out. I'm like, yo, you got any water? Like, I feel I'm gonna pass out. Like, I start hyperventilating and she's just like, here, take this water, take this water. And I chug it down, which was not a good idea. And it helped a little bit, but I started feeling really nauseous. And so I walked out of her room and I went to the bathroom. And I was just there for at least like 10, 20 minutes, just really nauseous and lightheaded. I was just so nauseous and so pale. I looked into the mirror at one point and my skin was just so white, bro. It was horrible. And I'm just there hoping that it gets better. And it's not, bro. It's just getting so much worse. The nausea is getting 10 times worse. Like when I say it went from 200 to 375 and went from 200 to 375, bro, I was so nauseous. And I started humming because I heard that prevents you to throw from throwing up. And man, the nausea just got to me, man. I just couldn't keep humming. I open up the toilet. I just start throwing up everywhere, bro. I throw up for at least a good minute, flush the toilet, and I try to get up. I get so fucking dizzy, I'm blacked out. And I don't remember anything after this. All I remember is waking up 2 minutes later to my cousin texting me. She's like, "Yo, bro, you good? You've been in the bathroom for like an hour." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I check. I'm like, "Damn, she's right." Because I remember checking the time beforehand before I went to her room. It was like 2 in the morning, and I was only in her room for like a good 30 minutes. And it was like, yeah, it was like an hour after that, bro. It was like 3:30 something. And bro, I was so cooked, bro. Like, I didn't want to tell her I threw up or anything because she hates it. She hates throw up. So, I'm not gonna lie, after I threw up, I felt a little bit better. I didn't feel like nauseous anymore or lightheaded, especially after I passed out. Like, I felt rejuvenated, if that's a word. Felt a little bit better. So I hopped out the bathroom, I put water in my face, and I went on the couch. No, I went to my other cousin's room and I knocked the fuck out. And I did not wake up until the next day until like fucking 3, bro. Till like 3 p.m., bro. I was out for a whole fucking 12 hours. Best 12 hours of my life. I'm not gonna lie, man. That Zarcoma, it hits. Yeah, guys, that's it for this story time. If I had anything to say, is don't take too much from your tolerance. Like, really know your tolerance before you take something, especially when it comes to edibles or when you smoke. Just take it to consideration your actual tolerance, because if not, you're probably gonna green out. Like, I'm not trying to scare none of y'all, but that's just the truth. Yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.